Hello, it's great to be here again, and I'm glad to know you are there. This is Bring It On. I am Ambrose Ezewani. The Constitution of Nigeria, our country, provides for 3 tiers of government: the federal, the state, and the local government. Now, the local governments, even though carved out from the states, are supposed to be somehow independent. They are supposed to have their own chairmen and councillors. Now, what's on ground is that in some states in our country today, the local government structure has been pulled down, as it were. There are no local governments with chairmen and councillors. What you have in place, caretaker committees and other forms of government. And so the question is, are we operating outside the Constitution? That's what we're going to look at today, the local government as the 3rd tier of government, how functional. And how does the removal or the destruction of this structure impact on our political experience? If time permits, we shall also look at another development, and that is the inclusion of the 6 geopolitical zones in the Constitution that is being amended. The Northern elders and governors are saying we are not part of that. That's a development that should interest us. Remember, you can join us on our social networks, www.youkers.com/bringitonlp or www.facebook.com/bringitonTV show. To discuss these topics with us here in the studio, I have Barrister Wale Ogunade, a constitutional lawyer and president of Voters Awareness Initiative. Welcome to Bring It On, sir.
Thank you for inviting me.
Also with us is Mr. Martins Onovo. He is a politician, as a matter of fact, the presidential candidate of the Action Alliance in the 2011 general elections. Welcome to Bring It On.
Thank you very much.
So, we have 3 tiers of government: federal, state, and local government, constitutionally provided. How are they supposed to function?
They are supposed to function interrelate with each other.
Okay.
Because fortunately, we have a federal constitution as it is. But unfortunately, in practice, we practice a unitary system of government. But be that as it may, the local government is supposed to be the grassroots government, nearer to the people. In fact, nearest to the people. Because looking at Nigeria very big, I've had the opportunity of crisscrossing Nigeria. I mean, there are 774 local governments in Nigeria. And one cannot expect somebody to sit in Abuja and know what is happening all over the country. So the country is now broken down into various units called local government. So each local government will have its own chairman and councillors. And these people are the ones that will manage the affairs of this local government or these units. And of course, the local government will comprise of one or some few states, some few towns and villages that makes up a geographical area, a tribal area, a natural area, depending on the various things or considerations.
Yeah.
But definitely a local government will have a boundary. So within that boundary, the chairman and the councillors, in collaboration with various stakeholders, will ensure that that local government is well managed. There are obviously natural resources in those local governments. Some up to 2, some up to 3, some up to 4. There's hardly any local government in Nigeria. In fairness, there's hardly any local government in Nigeria that I've gone to that has nothing less than 3 or 4. They must have water. And water is life. I've been to Israel, I've been to some Arabian countries too. There's no water in those places. So all it needs for you is to dig up water, with some local government problems people have. Maybe we'll get to that. There are some, of course, that have gold, bauxite, sand, just name them.
And they take care of these national products themselves.
That's what they are supposed to do, because the Constitution, maybe let's quickly go there, Section 7 of the Constitution talks about the local government. And in the 4th schedule, it talks about the functions of local government. And part of the function of the local government is that they ensure the development of those local area. That is a function of a local government. And unfortunately, we run a prodigal son economic type of system here, where the local government is a lazy man. He does nothing. All he looks at is he just looks up to the state per se and to the federal government because of the allocation, because of we have oil.
Okay.
Because there is oil, so because of that, most of them go to that office doing nothing but just stealing money.
All right. We hold it there. Engineer Novo, you are a politician. And we know that there are some states that don't have this local government structure in place right now. Imo is an example. I think it's still in court. Anambra is there. Let's just stop at those two. Are we doing something outside the Constitution then? In other words, illegal?
Well, I think that for the question you have asked, we need to particularize it. Anambra has had significant security issues.
Okay.
And the official, or one of the official reasons for the Anambra situation is security. Because do not forget that the state government had initially planned a local government election that was aborted. So we must make sure that in citing the rules, we maintain some level of judgment.
Okay.
Because otherwise, the law is made for man, not man for the law. But that does not justify a negation of our Constitution. I will not declare that the Anambra situation is a negation of the Constitution, no. I will say it's a situation that needs to be managed. The Imo situation is a little bit more disorderly because they were elected, in quote, local government officers.
Councillors, yeah.
Yes, in office. And according to the courts today, they were unlawfully removed from office. But you see, right now, time has overtaken that. Mm-hmm. Because the courts, interpreting the Constitution you have cited, restored them back to the offices. But from the period they were restored by the courts to now, their tenure has expired. So it's also appropriate that a new local government election is conducted.
Okay.
But I now want to go further. Because when we come on these programs, our perspective is to make sure that our contribution is strategic to national development.
Right.
We have to ask ourselves the philosophical question of whether it's better to conduct charade elections or to conduct no elections. We need to answer that question first.
Okay.
Because it's not about claiming that I'm an elected local government chairman when you know you were appointed. In other words, is charade election used to legitimize an unlawful appointment process? Because it's easy to claim that in Anambra there was no election.
We want to thank you for your wonderful company. Thank you, Engineer Novo, for coming to Bring It On.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Wale Ogwede, for coming on Bring It On.
To God be the glory.
I am Ambrose Ezewani. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye now.